Hello guys, you're welcome to my channel. So we have this good question here to solve. The question says we should find the square root of 40 times 41 times 42 times 43 plus 1. And we're not going to use calculator to do it. So this is the trick to do it. So let's start. So when you have this kind of question and you have to solve without using calculator, this is what you will use. We have this. So since we have 40 as a common number there, what we'll do is we are going to split everything into 40. So that is 40 bracket open 40 plus 1. For this, for 41 is the same thing. 41 plus 40 plus 41 is the same thing as 41, right? The same thing as 40 plus 2 means 42. Then 40 plus 3 means 43. So here, since we now split everything in terms of 40, we are going to say we are going to let 40 to be equal to something so that it will be easier for us to simplify. So let x to be equal to 40. So wherever you see x, wherever you see 40, you're going to write x. So here, this is what we have now. We have x bracket open x plus 1 bracket open x plus 2 bracket open x plus 3 plus 1. So now we have a bit simplified it, so let's go further. So here what you will do is the next step is to bring everything together, try to bring it together. So here we now have x brackets, x multiplied by, so let's switch this one first now. So we now have x plus 3, then this one x plus 1, then this x plus 2, then plus 1, right? So with that we'll be able to, so x times x, that gives us x squared, right? Then x times 3, that will give us 3x, everything square root. So we are done with this. So let's open this bracket too. X times x, that gives us x squared, sorry. Then x times 2, that gives us plus 2x. We're done with this. So let's use 1 2. 1 times x, that is plus x. 1 times 2, that is plus 2, then plus 1. So here now, let's try to bring everything together again. So we have x squared plus 3x bracket close. So here, if you observe, you see 2x and x, that gives us 3x. So that is 2x squared plus 3x, then plus 2 bracket close plus 1, right? So now if you look at the first bracket and the second bracket, you observe, you see that we have x squared plus 3x and x squared plus 3x. That is common. We can let it to be equal to something. So let's x squared plus 3x to be equal to m. Okay, so wherever we see x squared plus 3x, we put what? We're going to write m. So with that, here is going to be m multiplied by, here 2 is going to be what? M plus, then 2 bracket close plus 1, right? So here we'll now open this bracket. M times m will give us m squared plus m times 2, that gives us 2m, then plus what? 1. Okay, so here you observe that this is a perfect square, okay, expression. Perfect square expression is expression in this form: a squared plus 2b plus 2ab plus b what? Square. So when you have this kind of perfect square expression, how do I know that it's a perfect square expression? Perfect square expression is that expression in form of when you take the square root of the first term and you take square root of the last term, you multiply it together by 2, it's going to give you the middle term. So when you take the square root of a square, square root of a square, a square root removes square root, you have a square root of b square, square remove square root, that gives you b. So a times b times 2, it will give you the middle term. So that's how I know that it's a typical example of perfect square expression. So in perfect square expression can be written in this form. You can write it as a plus b all squared, right? So since we have it in this form, we are going to put it in a way we write it. So m squared plus 2 multiplied by m multiplied by 1 plus 1 squared, because 1 square means 1. So if you observe this thing inside of this square root here, you discover that this is an example of a perfect square expression. M squared plus 2 times m times 1 means as what I explained here. So since this is an example of a perfect square expression, we can put it in this way: m squared plus 2 times 1. As I explained, if you take the square root of the first term and the last term, it's going to give you the middle term. So m square root of m square will give us what? M, and square root of 1 square will give us what? 1. So when you multiply it by 2, it's going definitely will give you the middle term. So since we know that this is an example of a perfect square expression, we can put it in form of m plus 1 all squared. That is when you factorize, you know, if this is you don't understand it the way you want, you can still refer back to my former lesson where I explained factorization. You will understand it more better. So let's continue. So with this, since we know that this is equal to this, we can put it inside of that square root now. That will give us m plus 1 all square. So square will remove square root. We now have m plus 1, but x, but m was set to be equal to x squared plus 3x. So wherever you see m, you're going to write this instead. So that will be x squared plus 3x plus 1. Okay, recall that x was equal to 40 before. That is when we simplify everything. In place of 40, we set 40 to be equal to x. So wherever you see x, write 40. So that is 40 square plus 3 brackets open, 40 plus 1. 40 square will give you what? 1600. How do I know? You know, square root of 4 is what? Is 16. So now, since square root of 4 is 16 and square of 2 zeros will give you what? 0 here. So in simple term, when you want to take square root of big number like 40 or maybe 30 or 40 like this, just take the square root of the the first number, then add 20 to it. Since it is only 2-digit number like 40, 50, or 20, 10, just take the square root of the first digit, then add 20 to it. So then plus 3 times 40, that gives us 120 plus 1. So if you sum everything together, this will give us 1721. So now take your square root, take your calculator and point it. You will discover that this is what it's going to give you here. So now, please, if this is your first time of coming to my channel, please turn on the notification bell and subscribe to my channel so that you can enjoy more of this whenever I drop a video like this. Bye.